Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is NAKIE. I hope everybody is doing well. We are back again with another recipe and we are making tatale today. This is spiced ripe plantain, like kelewele, but this is like mashed. Yeah, so let's get started. So for our main ingredients, we need the overripe plantain. So we need the black one, the one that is overripe. Yeah, that's the 3 black ones that I have. Yeah, and the other yellow ones, I have it and I want to just add it to it. But if you have the overripe one, that is perfect. Just use that. But I just wanted to add that because I have it already. All right. So first we're going to grind our ginger and pepper. So for this process, you could just use a blender or food processor to grind it, but I just want to go the traditional way, so I'm using the earthenware bowl and the grinder, the wooden grinder. Okay. So after I grinded my scotch bonnet pepper and the ginger, I'm adding my onions. But if you use the blender or processor, you don't need to do it step by step. Just put everything in there and grind it. But since I'm doing it in the earthenware bowl, I need to do it step by step to make it easier for me to grind. So I'm done with that. I'm going to put that on the side and now I'm going to focus on my plantain. So I'm just going to take the peel of the plantain and I'm just going to cut it, and I'm also going to grind that in the earthenware bowl along with the pepper, the ginger and the onion. So I'm taking off the skin of the ripe plantain. You see how overripe that is? It's really soft. With that, it's easy to mash and it makes the tatale really good. So yeah, try to get the overripe, or sometimes just buy your plantain and leave it out for it to be overripe. But because of the weather here, sometimes you might see that it's ripe, but for some reason it's not. But with this, I thought it was really like ripe enough, like soft, but it was a little bit harder on the side. But I didn't want to throw it away, so I ended up using it. I bought it with the black ones, but some was ripe and others weren't. So yeah, so just try to get the overripe one, see how soft that is, and it's easier to mash. At this point, I'm just using the wooden grinder to just mash it. I'm not gonna like mash it to the smooth texture. I just want some chunkiness in it. So it all depends on you. You could mash it to really smooth texture, but I really want some chunkiness in it. So I'm just gonna use the wooden grinder to just hit it in like that. And this is the yellow one. This is the one that I thought it was really like, I thought it was ripe but not too ripe. Yeah, so I had to cut it really small and use the grinder to mash it. Yeah, so if you're using that one, yeah, you probably have to like work it up a little bit, but best just use the overripe one and it's gonna be easier for you. But I really didn't want to throw this away, that's why I ended up adding it to it. Alright, so yeah, this is the final product. You see how it has that little bit of chunkiness in it? That's perfect. As I said earlier on, you could use your food processor for this part. Just make sure you don't blend it so smooth, okay? Just to have that kind of traditional texture to it, like a little bit chunkiness. But hey, if you want it smooth, go ahead and make it smoother. But this is how I was taught to make it, like a little bit chunkiness in it. I just added a little bit of salt to taste. So this is regular flour, this is all-purpose flour. I'm just going to add some couple of tablespoons to it. This serves as a thickening agent. You're adding your flour to it, make sure you do not overdo it because you don't want your mixture to be so doughy like you could taste the flour in it. No, we don't want that. We want to taste the spice ripe plantain. That's the purpose of this recipe. The flour is just to help it thickens when you shallow fry it, okay? If you're not sure about the consistency, just add little by little, and when you get the right thick consistency, then you stop. I added 3 tablespoons heap one, and you can see I added little by little, and this is the right consistency for me. this is the texture I got. This is how I want my tatale. It's still thick, but not too thick. See, yeah, this is perfect. Now we're gonna shallow fry our tatale. Yeah, and you need your red oil. If you don't have red oil, yeah, you could use vegetable oil, or if you don't like red oil, you could use vegetable oil. But this is the traditional way of frying your tatale. So I take a spoonful of it and put in the oil when the oil is hot enough, okay? And make sure you like use the spoon to like press it down a little bit like you're making your pancake. Otherwise it's not gonna cook in the middle. So make sure you don't like overheat it. Just tap it a little bit on top, like flat enough like you're making your pancake. So I cook inside for 3 to 4 minutes under medium heat, and make sure you do not overheat the fire, otherwise it's gonna burn and it's not gonna cook in the inside. One challenging thing about this is sometimes so hard to like turn. Just because it's soft, it's not like it's really hard, but hey, it's still possible to do. So just take your time and find a possible angle to just flip it, and you're gonna get it right. All right. So I also added a little bit of the palm oil because the palm oil dried up when I flip it to the other side. So I added a little bit of it, not to make it so dry. So just a little bit of palm oil when you see that it's drying up, alright? And our first batch is ready. Look how pretty that looks. It's not burnt, it's still golden brown. Look at that. Looks pretty. And now we're gonna fry our second batch. If you want your tatale to be like really shaped, you could use like a cookie cutter, like a big cookie cutter, to give it any shape that you prefer. I've seen other videos like that, but I didn't have that, and I just want to go just the traditional way, just fry. And yeah, and that was it, guys. This is an easy recipe. You could have this with your beans, apple boy. It's best served with apple boy, but I'm not fan of apple boy, so I had it with black eyed beans and some oil, and it was good. You could have this by itself too, guys. It tastes really good by itself. So if you don't like any beans, just have it by itself and you will love it. Our tatale is done, guys. Look how pretty that looks. Really delicious, spicy but not too spicy. If you want a lot of spicy, yeah, just add a more scotch bonnet pepper to it or more ginger to it, but do not overdo the ginger, otherwise it's gonna be bitter. And that's it, guys. We are done. I had this with some black eyed beans and some oil, and it was perfect. It was so good. Simple recipe, but really filling. Thank you so much for watching this recipe. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Until I come your way next time, this is Cook with NAKIE. Be good to yourself. Be good to everybody. It goes a long way.